watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
After a win last week in Upper Iowa, the Huskies were looking to keep their winning ways going against the in-state rival.
The women's hockey team looks to pick up their first win.
But first, a jam-packed weekend on the pitch leaves the Cardinal in black checking the NSIC standings. Husky Mag is back.
This is Husky Mag.
Yes, it is. Kirsten Krull, Joe Scarella, Husky Mag back on your television screen for the first time this year. And I was talking to Kirsten before the show, and she said, now this is a direct quote. She said, I missed you so much.
For the record, I did not say that. And think what you want, I was at home having a blast all summer. But while we were enjoying our summer vacation, so much news in sports went on. Former Husky goaltender for the women's team, Katie Fitzgerald, became the first women's hockey player to sign a professional contract in the WNHL. And Mikey Acemont, he was drafted in the 5th round in the NHL draft back in July to the LA Kings.
Now, while some talented men's players went on to the show, notable names like Patrick Russell, he's gone. He took his talents to Edmonton. But we start with soccer. Let's go to the pitch. Huskies host the Minnesota State Mavericks. Morgan Katu got the scoring going in the 18th minute, her first of the season. Huskies trailed by 1. That didn't last very long. Kate Fearing pulls even for the Huskies 2 minutes later because she's a scorer, and that's what scorers do. Nothing until the 84th minute until Hannah Marion sealed the deal. Huskies win 2-1. Clifford 8 saves on 9 shots.
Katie Fearing has been one of the early stars of this women's soccer team this season. She has 1 goal under her belt so far in 2016 and has also controlled the pace of play from the attacker position. She maintained ball control and teases defenders to help make plays. This is a girl to keep an eye on for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, she's been stellar all season for the 3 games that they've played so far.
And for more on the women's soccer team, we bring in reporter Madison Golden. Madison, what do you have for us?
Well, Kirsten and Joe, the St. Cloud State soccer team is looking for new opportunities this season, and they may have the team to do just that. Here's more. Last season, the St. Cloud State women's soccer team finished with a 9-6-3 record overall. With such a strong season, it was no surprise that they made it to the NSIC tournament. After falling short in the first round of the playoffs last year, as well as losing 8 seniors, the Huskies soccer team is hungry for
year, and we were able to get a whole new class of awesome freshmen in. So I think the normal transitions with that, getting to know the freshmen, how they play, and letting them kind of put their own signature on the Husky soccer.
With 10 new freshmen, the team is ready to work and build them up to help them get back to the playoffs this year. With the help of goal-scoring phenom Maria Cass and offensive leader Kate Fearing, SCSU's season is looking promising.
So I think as long as we're still learning from each game and getting better from each game,
we have a really good chance, and as long as our players are staying hungry and staying humble, it's really encouraging for us.
After the team is away for 2 games, they will return to Husky Stadium for 3 home games, and fans can expect a lot from this young team.
The one thing I really like is that we have such a young class, and so all of them are very open-minded.
For Husky Mag, I'm Madison Golden. These are looking forward to their next few games at home.
With the soccer team losing 8 seniors last season, how have the freshmen stepped up to the plate?
Well, the team dynamic this year has been a little different with those 8 seniors being gone, but the freshmen are playing really well with the team, and St. Cloud State can only go up from here.
With 3 home games coming up for the St. Cloud, what can we expect from them?
We can expect to see some more goals from Maria Cash. She's been on fire so far this season. And Brooke Bears, who is one of the freshmen to watch. And with these 2 on the field, the Huskies might be able to pull out a few wins at home.
Thank you, Madison.
Thanks, Madison.
The Warriors of the North, Bemidji State, currently hold the top spot in the NSIC with an overall 5-1 record on the season and an undefeated record in conference play. Another Beaver team making it near the top is Minot State, who are also undefeated in conference play and only have 1 loss on the season. Northern State and Southwest Minnesota are tied for 3rd, and St. Cloud State ranks in the 5th spot with a 2-2-2 record.
Friday, don't miss it. Northern State comes to Husky Stadium to take on the Cardinal and Black. That'll be a good one. The Huskies led by Maria Koss. She scores like every game. The Wolves coming off a heartbreaking loss in overtime. They look to redeem themselves against the surging Huskies. Wolves keeper, though, Stacy Cavill is the player to watch. She played out of her mind against SMSU. Kickoff at 7 p.m.
These are the nights that never die. My father told me.
And it's a fake. Jamison quarterback throws it, and it's in! Here's she looking to throw downfield, and that is caught.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Bring us up to 10.
Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. 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 You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Kicking off week 3 of the young football season, St. Cloud State took on NSIC rival Minnesota State Mankato. Starting things off in the first quarter, everyone thought the Huskies were going for a field goal attempt. Psych! Jamison Parsons dropped back, and the former quarterback showed everybody he still got it. He launches the ball in the end zone and finds Graham Miller to put the Huskies on the board 5-7-0. Mankato's Pierucci pulls the fake handoff in this next play and connects to Eric Fuller to answer to the Huskies' last touchdown. Tie game. That wouldn't be all we would see from Mankato as Pierucci drops back and throws a bomb to Ty Dennis, good for 48 yards, and what a day Ty Dennis would have. That kid is a monster. Game not done, but it would be when Nate Meyer dropped back and threw the ball into the wrong hands. Mankato's Gillespie makes the grab and takes it into the end zone for a whopping 71 yards to end the day.
Not a lot of bright spots for the Huskies in this one, but here's a bright spot. John Pass, he's been uncoverable through 3 games this season. The 6'2" sophomore has 16 catches for 242 yards on the year. He's also caught 2 touchdown passes to add to that total. Pass tore up the Peacocks of Upper Iowa 2 weeks ago with 138 yards receiving. He is averaging 80 yards per game so far. Double cover this man, please.
Bemidji State must have something in the water they're drinking because they come in ranked at the top spot once again, but this time in football. They're undefeated on the season after taking down Upper Iowa, Mankato, and Wayne State. This Beaver team, in my opinion, was underrated coming into the season. Moving further down the list, there are ties all the way around as Minnesota Duluth and Minnesota State are tied for the 2nd spot, both only suffering 1 loss early on. And with a 3-way tie for 3rd, there's Northern State, Minot State, and St. Cloud State with only 2 losses this season. And falling towards the bottom, Minnesota Crookston and U-Mary are still looking to pick up their first win of the season. In the coming weeks, we'll begin to see the ties dissipate and the leaders of the pack take their spots.
Not the result the Huskies wanted on Saturday against the Mavericks, but next week the Cardinal and Black head to Wayne, Nebraska to take on the Wildcats. Wayne State has been outscored 106-55 in 3 games and have been shut down offensively. The Huskies defense looks to prey on quarterback Zach Osborne, who's been sacked 10 times this season. The Wildcats took on the Huskies back in 2013 in St. Cloud and were thumped 43-20.
Let's bump, set, and spike it over to volleyball. After a couple long road trips to Colorado and Wisconsin, the St. Cloud State volleyball team headed back to NSIC play. In a match that was within points for each set, St. Cloud State proved to be the team to beat. Shannon Klink of the Huskies led the St. Cloud offense with 16 kills throughout the match, and the Huskies also proved dominant on the defensive side of the ball as well with 82 digs. Put those 2 components together, and St. Cloud State won the match 3-2.
Crookston volleyball started off pretty well this season in Big Rapids, Michigan, but a team that is known for finishing off their serve was held to just 7 aces against the Huskies. St. Cloud State dominated the Eagles in digs with a 9-point differential in that category. Crookston with an uncharacteristic 20 service errors.
Is that bad?
It's not good. Crookston struggles in the loss.
Mankato would get the W and get back on the bus with a 45-12 win over St. Cloud State. Mankato improved their record to 2-1 on the season, their only loss being to the undefeated Bemidji State, and St. Cloud moved on to 1-2. Nate Meyer would tally 295 passing yards onto his stat sheet, outpassing Pierucci of Mankato, who had 282 passing yards. What have I been telling you about Bemidji State, Joe? I've mentioned it all throughout the show, and here it is again. The Beavers hold the top spot in the standings again, but this time in volleyball. Minnesota Duluth and Bemidji are undefeated on the season, taking almost every set they've played. Minnesota State Moorhead falls closely behind in 3rd, and another 3-way tie between Minot State, Northern State, and St. Cloud State for that 3rd spot in the NSIC. Still looking to pick up their first match win of the season in NSIC North is Minnesota Crookston and U-Mary.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens when conference play gets rolling. Sam Sundstrom is getting faster every day, and right now she's running like it's the middle of next month. After a dominating win in her first race, Sundstrom placed 4th in her 6K at St. Olaf. The senior from Sauk Rapids is proving she's top class, posting at 22 minutes 15 seconds. That's 45 seconds behind the winner.
Yeah, it was awesome. I took off pretty hard, and there was a girl that went with me for a while and then kind of lost her. So it was hard to stay focused the whole race and kind of push myself, but it was good. It was a good opener.
These are the nights to never die. My father told me.
Go backhander, turned away, rebound, shot, and score! The play by Hespenide, walking back, oh, what a shot!
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. Watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Seems like hockey season never ends around here. The World Cup of Hockey is in full swing, and we are easing our way into St. Cloud State hockey. The women come back this weekend at home against the Badgers, and then 2 weeks later, the men kick off with the exhibition against University of Regina. For more on the sport that never stops, I'm joined by hockey analyst Robbie Jackson. Now, Robbie, St. Cloud State had a group of 8 freshmen come in this year, and this class has had high expectations surrounding them. What have you seen from them so far in practice?
I've seen a lot of good stuff, Kirsten. Obviously, a lot of expectations going into them. You got Dennis Chilowski, who's the highest draft pick ever in St. Cloud history, going 20th overall in the most recent NHL draft to the Detroit Red Wings. You got USHL Defenseman of the Year, Jack Ashawn. Ryan Paling even skipped his senior year of high school to come in here and play for the Huskies. So Coach Motzko accelerated him. They've been phenomenal in practice, and as we speak right now, Ryan Paling's actually at the CCM All-American Prospect Game. Hopefully he's lighting it up and he'll come back and do just the same for the Huskies.
And while we're on the topic of Ryan Paling, this kid's 17 years old, and as you mentioned, he forewent his senior season. What makes this young gun stand out?
Everything. He's got size, speed, great shot. You know, a lot of the guys are 19, 20 years old on the team, and he blends right in with them. There's no way you could tell this kid's 17 years old just by looking at him. He's like 6'1", 6'2", very lean, great hands. Performed very well at the Ivan Holinka tournament this summer, scored the overtime winner for the USA, and also tallied a hat trick in his second game there. So I think we can expect a lot from young Ryan Poehling.
And now, with St. Cloud State losing most of their top goal scorers from last season, how are these freshmen going to fill the roles of guys such as Charlie Lindgren, Patrick Russell?
Well, you're not going to be able to fill Charlie Lindgren's shoes very easily. So the combination of David Zevnik, who was a redshirt freshman last year, Jeff Smith, who played a year at UMass Lowell and then transferred to St. Cloud after a year in juniors, and Zach Driscoll, who's not a true freshman, but he didn't have to redshirt or transfer at all. So those are the three goalies St. Cloud has to offer right now. Hopefully they're building up their confidence right now in net because they have a combined 5 NCAA games played between them. So goaltending is going to be a questionable spot maybe for the Huskies, but I'm fully confident they'll be able to fill it. As for scoring, Patrick Russell leaving, all the seniors that left, you know, guys like Mikey Isamont, Judd Peterson, guys that can really put the puck in the net, are really going to have to step up this year.
Well, you heard it from Robbie Jackson himself, and you can find out how the freshmen proved themselves on October 2nd in their matchup against University of Regina. Thank you, Robbie.
Imagine this. You're the St. Cloud State women's hockey team coming off one of your best seasons in nearly a decade, including a 7-game win streak in which you earned a record still below 500 at 13-18-4. All things considered, is that a step in the right direction? Don't get me wrong, we all know playing in the WCHA is the women's hockey equivalent to the SEC in college football. But flash forward to this season, losing your leading scorer in Illikainen and your rock between the pipes Fitzgerald, that leaves you where? Maybe a little short-handed. Undoubtedly one of the toughest schedules in college hockey, the Huskies take on no other than the Wisconsin Badgers on Friday. Quite possibly the best team in college hockey, the Huskies take on the Wisconsin Badgers, the #1 ranked team coming in at the Brooks Center, led by captain Sidney McKibben. The Badgers added a solid squad with freshman forward Presley Norby, who captained the USA under-18 team in 2015. The Huskies put the C on junior forward Lauren Hespenheide, who was second on the team last season in shots. The Cardinal and Black also added fresh faces to their roster with Rachel Herzog, the Hill Mary High School native who led her team to consecutive state tournament titles. Puck drop is set for 6 o'clock on Friday.
Stay with us after the break. We'll give you the Husky Mag Leader of the Pack.
And you couldn't watch everything, but we did. Your Blizzard's best top plays from the week coming up on Husky Mag.
A little bit with some snow, turning over to rain as we go through the day tomorrow.
It's 44 degrees. The rain did start to come down again. We had a short break there. Bring us up to 10.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.
Softball may be so last season as we're now in the midst of fall sports, but new leaders are looking to lead their team and make their mark in 2017. St. Cloud State announced their softball captains earlier this week, and they are none other than seniors Alyssa Coletto, Abby Bunnell, and Jessica Gerger. This is Coletto's 3rd time being voted as team captain, Bunnell's 2nd time being voted in, and Gerger's 1st. St. Cloud State softball fell just under 500 last season with an overall record of 26-29, but look to turn all of that around as they move into a new year.
Now, we had to decide on a leader of the pack person, and it was a hard week to decide because there was a lot of sports going on. We had volleyball, we had soccer, we had football, but eventually we came together as a Husky Mag team and decided on Jamison Parsons. He was on fire this weekend, and it started off with a passing touchdown.
How can you not pick Jamison Parsons? He's been unbelievable not only last season, but carried that all the way into this season. He had a fake handoff, dropped back like he was a quarterback all over again, and then got a touchdown for the Huskies, adding on some passing yards to his stat sheet.
And we know he can throw, but he can catch too. He's a receiver. That's what he does. And here's a 60-yard catch that he brought almost all the way down to the house on the first play from scrimmage. So he's a targeted guy on this Huskies team. Nate Meyer's looking for him, and we can expect to see more from him, but he's our leader of the pack this week. Now we go to Blizzard's best at top 3 plays of the week. Like we said, you guys couldn't watch everything we did. So we're looking at the top 3 plays of the week. Let's start it off. Number 3, we just saw it. It's Jamison Parsons' 60-yard completion on the first play from scrimmage. He gets brought down just on the 10-yard line there. What a start for the Huskies.
Unbelievable. This guy, just watching what he can do. Call it too soon, but I'm predicting first-team All-American again this season.
He had it last year.
Moving into the second play, we have the volleyball match against Crookston. And look at this rally leading up, setting up this kill right here. Look at that play. We're going to rewind it for you. Player goes in and just absolutely smashes it into the court.
Yeah, smash is the right word there. The Huskies volleyball team working as a unit. They got a big win. At the number 1 play of the week, again, we saw it. Again, it's Jamison Parsons. We're going to say it all night. A fake punt on the first series to take the lead over Mankato. It wouldn't hold, but that is a gutsy call on the fourth down in the first drive.
Unbelievable. I was sitting there watching that game, and I was blown away. I did not see that one coming.
Yeah, me neither. Well, it's been a great week of Husky Mag and Husky sports in general. For Kirsten Kroll, I'm Joseph Scarella. We'll see you next time on Husky Mag.
You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. UTVS News, weekdays at 5 and 6. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City. Visit utvsnews.com for all of your local news. You're watching UTVS, local TV for the Granite City.